Good morning, children. Children, today we are going to proceed with the chapter number 1 of economics that we discussed in the previous video. And the name of the chapter is development. Children, in that chapter, in my previous video, we discussed that what development means. We also discussed that development means different things for different people, isn't it? We discussed that for some people, development means more and more income. For some people, development means more job security. For some people, material things matters to development, and for some people, non-material things give them happiness and development. So we discussed in the previous video regarding development. We also discussed that importance of material and non-material things. We discussed that many a times non-material things like love, emotion, life security, job security are more important than the material things like money, isn't it? We also discussed that development means different to different people. I gave you example of, suppose if I ask in class to different students that what according to you the term national development means. Some students will say that our nation will only develop when corruption will go down. Some students will tell that our nation will develop when population will be reduced, isn't it? So, development means different things to different people and different students if we take example of students, isn't it? So, children, we discussed about the different aspects of development in the previous video. We also discussed about what is national income. In national income, we discussed the income of a nation consists of income of the people living in that country. If in any country, the people, those who are living, they are rich, then naturally that country will come in category of developed country. And if residents of the country are not rich, that country will come in category of poor country or developing country, isn't it? So our country, India, comes in category of developing country. So today we are going to proceed with the next aspect of this lesson, and that aspect is how comparison is done between different countries, isn't it? How this comparison is done. So to discuss this comparison, we will take example of different countries, isn't it? So this comparison is done by taking examples of different countries. For example, the best criteria to compare different countries in past was income of the countries. But income is not only, it is one of the best criteria, but it is not only the criteria, isn't it? And for this, the next criteria which was adopted was per capita income. Per capita income means income per person or average income. But children, this average income also sometimes has certain limitation. So today we are going to discuss about what are the limitations of this average income as the criteria for development. So what are those limitations? So average income or per capita income hides certain disparities. Children, a separate question comes from this portion in your exam. That what are the limitations of per capita income or average income in comparing the different countries? And the answer will be the average income hides certain disparities. This you will understand by if I'll give you some examples. Suppose I'll give you example of two countries or I'll give you example of a country. In that country, suppose 5 people are living and the national or the total income, this example is given in your book also in a table. Suppose in that country, the total income, it is a hypothetical example. In that country, the total income is 500. And suppose the people living in that country are 5. Please listen carefully. If total income is 500 and the people living in that country are 5, then children, naturally Per capita income will be 500 divided by 5. That means 100 will be the average income or per capita income of that country. Okay. But this is the ideal situation. It never so happens that each and every people living in the country have equal income. This we have talked. There are two countries, country A and country B. In country A, the total income is 500, people living are 5. So 500 divided by 5 is 100. So 100 is per capita income. And in other country, in that country B also, total income is 500. But when 5 people are living, one income of one person is 50, another person is having the income of 60 rupees, next is having the income of 80 rupees, then another is having the income of 100 rupees, rest is having the income of 300 rupees. So what is this, children? We have to see that the total of all the income becomes 500, isn't it? So here there is disparity in income. That means each and every citizen living in the country is not having equal income. It never so happens that, as it has happened in country A, that each and every citizen is having equal 100 rupees income. This is hypothetical situation. It never happens in any country that all people living in the country are having equal income. And in second country, different people are having different income. In our country, you see that poor people have very less income, and you see that Anil Ambani, Mukesh Ambani, the big businessman, they have income, very high income. There is no comparison between the income. In our country, different sections of society prevail, that is, richer section, poor, and middle class. And all these three sections have different level of income. But if we have to find out the average income of per capita income of our country, we always divide the total population with total number of people living in our country. But the answer that comes, is it so that, suppose if the answer is, if per capita income is 10,000 rupees, suppose in India, is it so that every people living in our country gets rupees 10,000? It is not so. Rich section of the society, they share more income. Poor people, they have very less income. And middle class, they also share less income. So per capita income just gives an idea about the average income, but it does not show the distribution of income, how the income is being distributed between the different people in our country. It always happens in real situation that different sections of society, they get different income. So if a question comes in your exam that what are the limitations of per capita income, your answer will be the limitations of per capita income as using the criteria for measuring the developmental level of the country. The answer is per capita income hides certain disparities. The distribution of income which is done between different people is not so equally shown in per capita income. So we can say that per capita income is not the best criteria for indicating or for measuring the developmental level of any country because it does not show the distribution of the income. Children, to explain this point, if you have opened your book, you just see that, or if you have not opened, open just now. An example of this kind is given of country A and country B. If a question comes in your exam that what is per capita income, you have to write that per capita income is total income divided by total population. And if a question comes that justify that per capita income is not the accurate criteria for measuring development level of the country. This question can also come in another way. What are the limitations of per capita income for measuring development of any country? Children, if this question comes, you have to explain whatever I have explained you now with example which is shown in your book in form of graph. It is written, you just open your book in NCERT book, it is shown limitations of per capita income. You have to explain the examples of both the countries and whatever I have explained you have to explain in that. So this question mostly comes in your exam. So we have discussed about per capita income and the limitations of per capita income. Then children, we'll discuss today that how different countries are being compared, and for this I will also explain you with help of an example that income is not only the criteria to measure the developmental level of any state or a country. The other criteria are literacy rate, infant mortality rate, and net attendance ratio. So, now what are these all points? What are this? What is this literacy rate, infant mortality rate? I think these things are new to you. And one question, 1 marks question, it surely comes from this. These are the mainly you see in the board exams, mostly question comes from this point. That is, what is literacy rate? What is per capita income? It can come defined per capita income. Question can also come what is infant mortality rate and what is literacy rate. So example to explain this is given in your book. So here, just open your book, a table is given in your book in which examples is given. Example is given explaining about the 3 states, and it is proved in this graph, in this example, in this table that only increase in per capita income is not the criteria to measure the development of any state or any country. In some books, example of Haryana, then Bihar, and one more state, Kerala, is given. In some books, instead of Haryana, Maharashtra is given. It doesn't matter. Figures are not asked in your exam. These examples are only given you in the books to just clarify your concept. So it is not, don't get confused if instead of Haryana, Maharashtra is given. Okay. The figures are also given. From these figures also mostly questions don't come in your board exam. It is just for your concept to be clear and for explanation. So in this example, what is given? Per capita income of 3 states, infant mortality of 3 states, and literacy rate, net attendance ratio of 3 states has been given. Now first let us understand what is infant mortality rate. Per capita income, all of you know very well, I have explained you. Now infant mortality, infant means small child, isn't it? So infant mortality rate is related to small children. Infant mortality rate means death ratio of the children in our country, which is measured by taking 1,000 children as a sample. That means from among 1,000 children in our country, the children which die at before completing their 1 year's age. The children that die before completing their first birthday. A sample of 1,000 children has been taken. From that 1,000 children, a survey has been conducted that in each and every state, from the percentage of 1,000 children, the children those who die due to certain diseases or due to lack of nutrition before completing the 1 year age, and that percentage is been counted, and that rate is known as infant mortality rate. The children die due to certain circumstances before completing their first birthday. Just imagine, it is so sad for a family if a child dies before completing 1 year of his age. So this is known as what? Infant mortality rate. The definition is given in your book, and after completion of chapter I will give you certain notes, okay, from all this infant mortality rate, net attendance ratio. I will give you in written form, or I will give you some material and all this. But till then, when I will give you some extra material, before that you just go through whatever it is given in your book, and the current data also I will try to give you by searching it, okay. But till then you have to just follow what is given in your NCERT book, but I will try to give you current data, okay, what is infant mortality rate of our country and of different states. But it is not essential for you, just have to follow what is written in your book, because these data are not important, the concept is important, that you have to understand. So here the examples of 3 states are given. In this example, Haryana is having the highest per capita income. After that, after Haryana, Kerala. After Kerala, Bihar. Bihar is having the lowest per capita income, and the reason you know, lack of employment opportunities, increase in population. This is the main reason for low per capita income of Bihar. That means in Kerala, lowest number of children die before completing the age of 1 year, isn't it? So Kerala is having, see, the highest per capita income. Which state is having? Haryana. Kerala is in second number and Bihar is in third number. But in case of infant mortality rate, infant mortality rate of Haryana is highest. After Haryana, Kerala, and the highest infant mortality rate is in Bihar. That means in Kerala, less number of children die before completing the age of 1 year. But in case of per capita income, Haryana is highest. Just try to understand. People of Haryana are earning more income. They are more rich. But in case of health facilities, which state is highest? Which state is more giving more good health facilities? The name of state is Kerala. So here, if we just take the criteria of per capita income, Haryana will come in category of developed state. But if we consider infant mortality rate and literacy rate, in case of literacy rate also, Kerala is having the highest literacy rate of 94% and Haryana only 86% and Bihar the lowest literacy rate. Isn't it? So, in this case, though Haryana is having the highest per capita income, but in case of literacy rate and infant mortality rate, Kerala is having better record. That means in Kerala less children die and in case of literacy also, Kerala ranks first and Bihar is ranking at last. That means Bihar is having very low literacy rate also and high infant mortality rate. That means health facilities are also not better in Bihar and along with health facilities, literacy rate is also very low in Bihar. So from this example, it is proved that just only having higher per capita income does not prove that a state or a country is a developed country. For considering a country or a state developed country other than per capita income, the criteria is like infant mortality rate, literacy rate, these things are also very important. So the question can come in your exam that how comparison between different states is done in a country. For this, if this question comes, you have to write down whatever I have explained you, isn't it? So you have to explain it with the help of the table which is given in your book and prove that only per capita income is not only the criteria to compare the different countries, and mostly question comes from this. And mostly the question comes to explain the different terms and it comes in 1 marks like infant mortality rate. I've already explained you and it is given in your NCERT book also. What is literacy rate? Literacy rate means the rate, the students, the children in a country, those who are above the age of 7 years, they are going to school and getting education. If that rate or percentage is measured, it is known as literacy rate, isn't it? Infant mortality rate already I have explained you. So for today, I'll end my topic here. In my next video, we'll proceed with what are the public facilities and we'll also discuss about Human Development Index and HDR and UNDP. We'll also discuss about Body Mass Index and public facilities. So before completing the video, as usual, I'll give you some questions from this portion. Mostly from this portion, the most important question is what is per capita income and what are its limitations? A full 5 marks question comes from this part. Second question that comes is the different I have told you. Define infant mortality rate. What is infant mortality rate? Second, what is literacy rate? And next, what is per capita income? 1 marks question comes from this. And the next it comes that how comparisons can be done, discuss with help of examples. So for today it is enough. We'll continue in the next video and whatever assignment I have given you, you do it in your copy and paste it on the WhatsApp group. Thank you children.